There are four major imperative drivers in the 21st century that CEOs and other leaders have got to keep their eye on. One is the rise of China, the impact of technology on the global workforce and populations and their governments. The third, of course, is climate change. And the fourth is the role that the United States is going to play in continuing to support the system by which all of us have grown up and operated under. The pandemic has served to accelerate these trends. It has served to force boards and CEOs to contemplate elements of them now. Some industries are more exposed to the competitive threat out of China than others are. The reality of it is that we live in the United States in essentially a quarterly earnings cycle and a 2-year congressional election cycle. That's the time frame with which we tend to think. China, on the other hand, where their companies, even private companies, are essentially extensions of the foreign and economic policy of the country, are thinking in much longer term, 10, 20, 50, 100-year. That is the competitive threat that companies are facing long term. We are going through something right now that no CEO, no corporate leader, no board, no entrepreneur, no government has ever gone through before. And that is the supplanting of one economy by another as the largest in the world. The last time that happened was about 100 years ago when the US took over from the UK, a system that we had very sort of similar values and similar system. China represents a completely different competitive threat. We're going to have to adjust to that in a situation where we don't know what the American people really want the United States to be going forward. The inequality in the country continues to grow. The perception is we need to be more focused on our domestic issues rather than everything else that's going on in the world, that we cannot afford to be the world's policeman. Any of that refocusing of policy has ramifications. Our interests overseas will start to be impacted that we may need to readdress in the future. All of these things are now moving now, they're moving more quickly. And I think, especially on the climate change front, we have been warned for a very long time that this is coming. It's going to impact our economies. It's going to impact our politics. It's going to impact our demographics. It's going to impact where we live. There is still time to arrest the worst effects of climate change, though it's clear as we look at the number of hurricanes that have hit the United States this year, the fires in California and in places like Australia. We're already feeling the impacts of this, obviously. But the point is that we still have time and we ignore it at our peril.